Air fryer.
Yes.
US, it's a very convenient thing.
Yes.
Very convenient
It's
thing.
very popular now here.
Here,
Yes.
so
Starting to be
people just start putting it in, and then it's a good thing. Less oil.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah.
But I get a thing that you asked me to decrease the calories and
Yes.
use more vegetables,
Correct.
and I use air fryer.
Yes.
An air fryer is causing EDC, endocrine disruptive chemicals.
Yeah.
Your take on it?
No, so it is. See, it is again about balance, right? So we all know we all eaten food, right? When I was a child, I used to come back home, and I will say, okay, what is there? We rice, cabbage curry, rasam, and I'll be like very disappointed because there is nothing crispy and crunchy and fried, right? So you want that dark roasted potato. So in that, we all have to remember that as we want diversity in the flavors and textures in our food. Right? We need a papad, we need something that is crunchy, etc., right? But again, if you're eating 4 papads with this much rice and this much vegetables, then there's a problem, right? So, if you have one papad along with your rice, etc., and then maybe every day you're not eating just fried potato. One day there is beans, one day there is cabbage, and one day there is coke, ivy gourd and things like that. So then I think so we all crave crispy foods, right? It's an evolutionary thing because we crave crispiness because historically our evolution, right, when we used to seek out fresh foods, etc., things that are crunchy are fresh. Things that are soft and slimy are likely to be spoiled and poisonous and so on. So we have a preference for things that are crunchy, right?
That's why we want murugal.
Yes, and the sound. So the important part is that you have to hear the sound.
Sound.
So it is actually, in fact,
Interesting.
reason a lot of food tastes very bad in economy class in a plane is because the engine white noise prevents you from hearing the crunch of food very clearly. So I often tell people, you want to enjoy food in an airplane, just put noise cancelling earphones and then your food will actually taste a little bit better. Wow. Because you are able to hear the sounds, the crunchier sounds of the crisper textures and so on. It's the same thing. So we like crunchy textures. Now, again, it is about balance, right? So on the one hand, if you have a history of heart disease and I think you're looking to consume less oil, your family has a congenital, sort of risk of that and so on, you want to be consuming less fried food, right? And therefore, you would rather air fry that food. I mean, it's a small convection oven. But at the same time, the trade-off is that it is heating the food up to like 220 Celsius. So at that temperature, any polyphenols, antioxidants, any of those things that were present in the vegetables are going to be destroyed. Vitamin C, many of those other things, right? So there is that risk. So if your idea of consuming vegetables in a day is only air fried vegetables, you have to be aware that you're not getting some of the other micronutrients from the vegetables. You're getting fiber. Don't worry about it. So the common fiber is going nowhere. Cooked or raw, yes, to some degree, cooked vegetables, maybe a little bit
tiny
less.
Bit.
Tiny bit. But it is still indigestible by your body. Let's not fool ourselves. So you don't have to overdo salads. Actually, many people, salads again, in many here, raw vegetables here, you have other risks, right? Of pesticide residues, bacterial contamination and all of that, right? So you also have to be wary of those kinds of things. And in a place like India, you do want to, as much as possible, err on the side of eating cooked vegetables as much as possible rather than raw vegetables, right? Unless you know it is a farm that you trust and all that. Most people don't have access to those kinds of things. So you focus on that. But the moment you air fry that vegetable, of course, it's high temperature cooking. You make it crisp, you remove the water, but you're also going to remove some of the micronutrients, right? So the antioxidants, polyphenols, vitamin C, vitamin B, they are the most heat sensitive. You don't lose anything else, right? So, and incidentally, just boiling vegetables is also going to reduce vitamin B and vitamin C. So that is why when you want to squeeze lime, you squeeze at the end, right? So that you don't lose the vitamin C. And also that is why I also said when you store, you don't lose anything in the fridge. You lose vitamin B and vitamin C when you reheat. And when you reheat, microwave causes the least loss of vitamin B and vitamin C. But people will say, no, microwave is radiation. Actually, boss, that is the best way to reheat food. Right? Yeah. So the interesting thing is that so this is the balance. So if you are saying, as my meal, I have a little bit of rice, I have maybe a side salad, right? Then I have sambar which has dal and things like that, right? And maybe I have say a steamed fish of some kind as the protein. Then air fried vegetables is a fantastic thing to balance that whole thing, because you're getting vegetables in the fiber, but you're also getting the crunch, because nothing in that plate gave you that crunch, and so it is good. Obviously better than a fried papad or something like that, right? So you have to think of it in those terms, right? But if your goal is that I don't like vegetables, the only way I like vegetables is air fried vegetables, then you might have to sort of
To look into it.
yes. So and the other thing is that, see, it's not like you're using air fried vegetables 3 times a day.
Correct, correct.
It's a high temperature.
How about meat? Meat is air fried meat?
So air fry. So one other thing about high temperature cooking in general is that as the temperature goes above, generally
200.
above 110, above the Maillard reaction temperatures, right? The Maillard reaction between sugars and proteins produces fantastic aromas and flavors, which we all love, right? But at the higher end of that temperature, they produce byproducts, polycyclic, aromatic hydrocarbons, and things like acrylamide, particularly when you heat starch, like potato, French fries, is a classic, very high amounts of acrylamide, right? Those sustained consumption over time, etc., can also be problematic, right? And I know there was this thing that, like, your oil fried French fries versus air fried French fries. The air fried French fries have more acrylamide, because you're doing more dry heating over a longer period of time, whereas oil heating is for a shorter amount of time, right? But the better way to think about it is to eat less French fries. Right? And eat it more modestly and less commonly, as opposed to break your head over whether you're going to do air fried versus. If you are convincing yourself, no, air fried French fries is healthier than oil fried French fries, that's not the right approach, right? So yes, to some degree, you see, your oil consumption reduction in the context of sauteing vegetables versus air frying vegetables, yes, that's fine, right? But French fries, no, you must be eating less of French fries generally.
But for meat, air fried meat also decreases the nutrient?
No, so meat is, okay, first and foremost, meat is not nutrient dense like vegetables.
Yeah.
So first people have to recognize that
Absolutely.
meat is primarily protein, but is also rich in minerals, mostly things like iron and red meat. So often, like, our bodies actually mostly absorb iron better in hemiform, which is only myoglobin and hemoglobin, right? So therefore, which is why often vegetarians have a higher risk of anemia.
Correct.
Plant-based sources of iron, no matter how much spinach you eat, very small percentage you end up absorbing. And then our diet is also rich in dairy. It is also rich in things like dal and things like that. Those phytates and the dairy, all of that are anti-nutrients for iron absorption, right? So food is not simple, right? Each one, it will prevent something else from right, being absorbed, right? So the thing is that meat is rich in fat-soluble vitamins in some cases. And again, depends on the diet of the animal. And industrially grown animals, again, are not going to be that nutritious in any case, right? The diet of the animal is not very diverse to begin with, right? But it is largely, again, protein. So risk of, again, grilling protein at very high temperatures, barbecue, and those kinds of things. Again, the same risk of polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons and acrylamide and those kinds of, those risks are there for any kind of thing, right? So very, very black charred stuff. So people sometimes, people like their meat sometimes with that charring, right? Vegetables, little bit less so, right? Because it actually tastes good and so on. So again, sustained long-term consumption can have that. But again, if you're having some weekend barbecue, right? You're not eating barbecue and tandoor food every day.
Every day.
The tandoor food is actually going to be pretty charred every time, right? But I don't think you're eating tandoor 3 times a day. Hopefully not. Yeah.